What's up, everybody? Yes, it started, Chase. Welcome to episode 20 of the GRVL Underdogs podcast. This week, Chase and I both race, so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about SBT that also happened, but Chase and I didn't race that race. And then we're going to talk about some upcoming races and tech talk and listener questions as usual. So let's get right into it. Chase, tell us about how you normalize 314 watts for 5 hours.
Uh, so I found out how to add 40 watts to my power meter. So I thought I would
Whoa.
just, no, I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, we recorded today's Tuesday. This is the earliest we've recorded in quite a while, I feel like.
Yeah, we need to get back on the Monday or Tuesday recordings. The
Yeah.
people are getting upset that we are putting podcasts out on Friday.
Yeah, I think it hurts our numbers. I mean, we're competing against JP, so
Yeah,
who
true.
also puts out podcasts on Fridays. But he did
Yeah.
release interview with Paige today. So, but yeah, I mean, just a few days ago, I was literally shaking. I don't know if it was because it was cold in the Airbnb or because I found out Jordan Wakely was going to be on the start line. But yeah, I was pretty nervous for Lutsen. I mean, we've talked about it before, but Lifetime has said, like, if you win one of those races, that kind of automatically gets you into the elite field for, like, the big Lifetime Grand Prix events. Someday I could see Lutsen being a part of the Lifetime Grand Prix, actually. I think it fits more into the series than Schwamigan does. I also think it would be a good transition from Onbound, get the riders onto the mountain bike and get them ready for, just get them going for Leadville. And I don't think it's too quick of a turnaround from Onbound to Lutsen. So, and I even talked to the race director about that a little bit. And I mean, he didn't say, he was like, yeah, it is a possibility that someday it could be part of the Lifetime Grand Prix. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Isn't it super hard to get to?
It would be about as hard to get to as
Schwamigan, yeah.
Yeah, maybe just
Yeah,
like
Schwamigan also sucks.
Yeah. I will say, like, Schwamigan, at least there's like a Walmart in one of the towns nearby, and there's like a decent civilization. Lutsen, like, I mean, you're up there. Like, there's a town called Grand Marais, 20 minutes north, but it's just like pretty small grocery store, and then really expensive hotels. I mean, it's comparable. Like, I mean, I had people staying with me, but for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, it was over $2,000 in, like,
holy cow,
housing costs. That was split between
crazy.
people.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it is expensive, but it's beautiful. I mean, you're kind of guaranteed cooler weather. So, like, I think everywhere is pretty hot and humid right now, but up there it's only like 70-ish. So you wouldn't have that. I mean, you are close to Canada. They could start some wildfires. Who knows about that? I mean, Crusher and the Tusher got canceled because of the wildfires out there. SBT almost got canceled. So it's definitely something, like, Lifetime, like, you gotta start thinking about as a race series. But yeah, I guess we should hop into my race. So the race starts with like 3 mile flat rollout. That's like super duper chill. And then we take a left and we just head up like a 10 to 12 minute climb. Last year, Emil just pinned it right from the start and had everybody on their limit. And we went up over the first hill with like 10 people, and then there's rollers at the top, and then I attacked, or he attacked.
Is this like gravel climb?
No, this is a pave climb.
Pave climb, okay.
Yep. So the first 10-ish miles are pavement, and then from there on, you're on gravel or double track or ATV trail, snowmobile trail, or single track. So, yeah, this year we turned left and it just felt way easier. The group at the top was way smaller. About halfway up, Jordan Wakely attacked. I swear he attacked because he saw JP filming. And I looked back at my power. I didn't realize I hit 1150 watts. Just like,
whoa.
trying
Is
to,
that a
I'm
new
like,
sprint power PR?
no, but I was like, I don't remember doing like an all out sprint, but I guess I sprinted. I mean, I didn't want him to get away. Also, he was on 32s. And I asked him like, how are those on a paved climb? And he made the comment that they weren't like the best. So in my head, I'm like, okay, that's kind of good to know. Like, he doesn't like these going up the climb. And I don't think that he was like, they just need to make faster tires. I mean, he had Maxxis Aspens. I don't know what like compound and stuff, but it was good to know one of the race favorites wasn't really enjoying his equipment up the climb. So, and he was breathing a little heavier than I would say like I was. So I was trying to like, because I've never raced Jordan, and I was just trying to like take notes on like, okay, how is he doing on this climb? Because that will kind of determine what I do on later climbs in the race. And oftentimes the later in the race climbs, I was just trying to follow Emil. So we do the climb. I talked to you about this earlier, but a lot of YouTubers talk about their power and normalized power. So that's what I wanted to do for this segment, just to like boost my ego. So my 20-minute normalized power, which I know I could not do this for 20 minutes. But again, I want to boost my ego, just like the YouTubers that do YouTube analysis do. And their names may start with a D and they may have another podcast. But my normalized power was 407 watts. And I weighed about 70 kilos, 69 kilos for this race. So that's almost 6 watts per kilo.
Did you say this is for 20 minutes?
For 20 minutes.
Is that like up the climb, or when was this?
This is up the climb and then at the top of the climb. And this is why I kind of think normalized power is stupid. It has that 1,000-watt sprint in it. So that's going to like skew it. And then at the top, Emil attacked. So every roller, I'm just like punching it to try to get to him.
Yeah.
So like, it's not this steady effort normalized power, but yeah, I did, as the YouTubers would say, I did 400, and this is going to be the caption of the whole video.
407 watts.
I did over
20 minutes to win Lutsen 99
for 20 minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for that world tour contract. To come in now.
Do you think normalized power is a good number to use when talking about like an entire race, like over 5 hours? Does it make sense?
I think for an endurance race, it's okay. Like, okay, I love
when like crit racers talk about their normalized.
That's like me talking about this 20 minute, because it's just like
you just sprint and then sit down for like 30 seconds and then sprint and coast for 30 seconds over and over again, so it makes your power look huge.
Yeah, I mean, I did 3:15 for the whole 5 hours normalized. I don't think I could do that if it was just pancake flat time trial. I mean, that's I don't know. I averaged, so like normal, I don't know what power you want to call it. Just normal power,
just
not normalized, just
average.
Average power was 281. If I take out the 3-minute rollout, it was 285 for 4 hours, 52 minutes. So I don't know. There is a lot of coasting in this race because like we had a whole bunch of there's snowmobile trail at the end, there's single track at the end. there's little uphills, downhills. So I've always been one to just talk about regular power. Like
Yeah, just
when
the average power.
when I go into like coaching mode, I kind of look at normalized. Um, I don't know. I really think average is kind of, you kind of got to look at both pictures, I guess. So, and for something like this, I'm honestly just looking at average power, which was my best average power for 5 hours ever. So I'm like super, super happy about that. But okay.
Do you think it's because the mountain bike cranks?
So someone commented like you have more leverage. And I know I have more leverage, but like I think it was Dylan who made a video on different they studied like different crank length.
Yeah.
And like I mean there was like no difference between the cranks besides when it came to sprinting power.
And it's not about leverage, it's pedaling efficiency.
Maybe I am just more efficient. I don't know. Dude,
Maybe,
I've
I don't
always
know.
wondered. So I'm 5'7" ish, 5'8" on like a good day, and I ride an extra small bike, or like I rode my Specialized Venge with, that was a 49 centimeter. But yeah, my Laufsegle is an extra small, and I ride like a 90 millimeter stem, so it's not like I'm super stretched out. And I've always just wondered like if I don't know what's weird about my body, but I do want to try 170 cranks again on the gravel bike and just see
170?
Yeah,
Because you're on 150 right now,
I'm on
right?
150. Just go like hop super big. Yeah. I mean, I literally have two Laufs. I could go side by side and like same power meter, everything. So, but yeah. Okay. Quick. I haven't even like recapped the race really.
2, what was your overall average power for the full race? What was your time for the full race?
My full time was 5:02.
5:02. Okay.
Yep. And
Was it a
then
pretty fast like day for that race, or like how was the weather and conditions?
conditions were really fast. So last year there was kind of more puddles. There's like opportunities for puddles to kind of be everywhere on course. But last year there was more puddles than this year. Like the mud, there's a muddy section at mile 50. And I should say the mud at Lutsen, it just like, I'm gonna say it's like water based. So it like clears off.
Yeah.
Or it like sheds really easy. It's not gonna jump.
It's
Like,
not sticky.
yeah, it's not sticky.
Yeah.
Like a clay based mud would be. So yeah, less puddles. The weather was pretty good. I would say it was a little hotter than expected. So I think that I can get to that part later in the recap, but I think that played a role into the race. There was single track, so that like slowed down the ending. So like if you take out the single track, I averaged 20 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And if you include the single track, it was 19.3. And dude, I had the fastest time on the single track for like all the competitors on the day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because you pre-rode it like 7 times.
Because I pre-rode it so much.
Dude, that's all that matters. You don't even have to know how to handle your bike. You just have to know the trails.
Yeah, I literally, also a lot of the trail is, there's a lot of time spent going uphill in the trail. So and I had a lot of energy finishing the race. But I also have a theory, or a conspiracy theory, that because I was yelling like 99 liter and about half of the people I passed knew me, I like to think that they liked me so much they just slowed down the next person. Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully
I
not, but that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think that actually happened. But I do have to apologize. There was one person who I did probably too much yelling to, and that was because it was like it was a really fast downhill, and I was yelling pretty far back. I was hoping this person would pull over before, and then it was like downhill, immediate, sharp. It was over 90-degree corner, like up a super steep hill. And if you didn't get it right, like even I would have had to walk it. So I felt bad, but like
You didn't want to lose any momentum.
I didn't want to
one.
lose any momentum, and it was close to the end, and I didn't know how far back Emil was at this point.
Yeah.
So I feel like I really haven't talked about like the actual race.
Okay,
but
so you made it over the climb that was 12 minutes long.
Yep, and I did 407 watts. We need to talk about that.
What happened after the climb?
So a lot of people must have done over 400 watts because we had a big group of about 10 to 15 people entering like the gravel. So after 10 miles, this was after we caught a meal too. So we kind of just sat and played games for a little bit, and we entered the first double track at mile 14. Yeah, I would say 10 to 15 people. At this point, it was really only me, Emil, and one other guy who like wanted to kind of set a pace. Like there wasn't a big fight going into the double track. So in my head, I was also like, a lot of those guys are on the limit because or else you would want to fight for position going into this double track because it just gets single file and like stretched out because you have to give a gap so you can see the rocks. Near the end of the double track, there's a pretty big like swamp, not a swamp crossing, but like a stream you cross that kind of slows everything down. And then immediately after that, it was about a 1 to 2 minute climb before you get onto a gravel road. And I want to say me and Emil were side by side, or we just kind of both went to push the pace. And then we came out of the double track, just 4 of us, me, Emil, Jordan Wakely, and a guy named Peter, also from Canada. He's friends with Emil. So I was like, okay, this is kind of the group I was expecting, plus Peter. And then we dropped Peter a few miles later. Just us. Then there was only 3 of us, and we're kind of rotating pretty good. I'm probably pulling the least because I'm also the most nervous for a bit. And then there's this long gravel road stretch, and every time Jordan was pulling through, I could probably sit in his wheel and do 100 to 150 watts. So I was like, he's either like playing games or he's like really tired actually.
Yeah.
And I was going more for he's probably playing games. And then we were supposed to take a right-hand turn onto double track, and he misses it. So like we're yelling at him to like, I thought he was maybe gonna miss it, and then he started to miss it, and we both yelled at him, waited for him, but I was just like, okay, I think Jordan's actually tired, or else I don't know. It was a long, boring road, but then 8 miles later, right before the like muddiest section, around mile 48, Emil attacked up a double track climb. I followed. I thought I was gonna blow up, but at this point Jordan was already dropped. So I'm like, we dropped him, and I said that so like he would slow down and hopefully like start working with me. And I also think Emil didn't realize like how long the climb was, because then it seemed like he slowed down, and then I was the one kind of setting the pace up the rest of this climb. And then we make it through. Then it's just 2 of us, same 2 as last year. I'm like, okay, now I gotta think about how I beat this guy. So we just start working together, growing our gap, and I wanted to make sure to like get a big gap on Jordan before the single track, just in case like Emil dropped me in the single track, and I wanted to at least get second then. Emil's poles start getting weaker and shorter, and he's yelling for water at every single time we pass an aid station. So, and his skin suit was getting super, super salty. So I'm like, I think he's starting to like crack. But at the same time, I didn't want to attack and then get fooled and then get like counterattacked. So I was like, I'm just gonna work with him till that like there was this hill before the last aid station. I'm like, I'm gonna attack there. But he was yelling for water at every aid station, so I felt kind of bad. So I didn't fully attack, kind of put in a dig, didn't drop him. Then we hit the snowmobile trail. This is probably the most technical part of the whole race besides the single track. He didn't fight me for position at all. So I was like, okay, he must be tired. Then at the exact same spot as last year, there's these two, I don't know how long they are. I guess I could, it's a 4-minute effort. There's like two little climbs back to back.
How far into the race is this?
This is at mile 90 or
Okay.
mile 80, mile 88. Single track starts around
Pretty
mile
close
9.
to the end.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I guess I'm going to get like 30 seconds on him best if I can get a gap, which I got the gap, and then I just like send her to the single track.
Yeah.
Get into the single track. Don't know my gap, but I'm just like, I've ridden this. I'm just going to go super hard. And I had energy, which I think helped. And then, yeah, did a lot of notifying of people that I was approaching them, aka yelling at them that I was about to pass. A lot of them cheered me on. I thought that was super cool. Never saw a meal. And I even, this sounds dumb, but Tilly Shaw told me at Onbound, like, I need to like say words of affirmation out loud. So I'm on the single track, like yelling at myself, like, you got this, stay safe, like keep going. And like, yeah, push through it, cross the finish line first. Dan Hughes got one of my like favorite all-time photos of me posting up. I thought the post up was pretty cool. So yeah, won Lutsen back to back. I tried bringing Wout onto the podium.
Yeah.
It was already the weirdest like podium ceremony because they did the men and the women overall together, and they like handed us our trophies and our Leadville coins. Yeah, they had to hand me a Leadville coin, which I turned down, and then they also handed me Continental tires for winning. That I was like, you can just give these to a junior, like,
Yeah.
and then they never were like, okay, like take the picture or whatever. So it was like very weird. Me and Jenna were standing there, and Wout was starting to cry, and I felt so bad that that Wout was up there crying, and like I kind of ruined the podium picture. If anyone even got a podium picture, I kind of felt bad because Wout was crying, but he was like kind of looking up and backwards, so you couldn't really tell. But I was like, okay, maybe he's a little too young to come on the podium. So
yeah,
but it was worth a try. It was also like pretty late into the night, so. But yeah, I was like, I gotta try at least once to bring him on the podium, and there's not too many times I get to win. So yeah,
did they wait like way late in the day to do the podiums?
Yeah, it started at 7, and by the time I was on the
and
podium,
you were done at what time? Like noon?
12:30. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to wait around like 6 hours for podiums.
Yeah, so like
that's crazy.
Yeah, JP and I did a podcast. We drove up to Grand Marais, got Dairy Queen, went to Circle K, got our 44-ounce fountain drinks, took a little nap. It just like, there's so much time to be passed.
That's a lot of time waiting for podiums.
I think I like that more than like I don't know. I guess the sooner the better, no matter what.
Yeah.
But dude, then they had like, I think 45er, 59er, 99er, all of the age groups, fat bike. single speed. It's just like
So many
so
podiums.
much. But like as a race director, this is why I don't like doing podiums. It's because like you either have to do like just the overall or you have to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah. So, yeah, but congrats to everyone who went up to Lutsen. It was a beautiful day. I enjoyed talking to everybody. Like, it's definitely like top 3 favorite events for the year, just from like a community standpoint. And it's fun to race your mountain bike fast and like kind of technical, but like,
did anybody race a gravel bike this year?
well, yeah, this was another thing. There was people. So actually, when Emil was attacked, there was a guy. Okay. I felt kind of bad. I felt like bad because I had elitist thoughts, but there was this guy on like this old mountain bike frame, and he put drop bars on it. It's like his gravel bike now, but he had like a 50 tooth chain ring, and like, yeah, I made like a comment about how big his chain ring was jokingly to someone, and then I kind of felt bad that I was like, I don't want to say like bullying him, but like talking bad about his equipment because this is probably like the only bike he has.
Yeah.
And he was like he was right next to us ripping up the climb. So I feel bad for like that, but I bet that guy ended up crushing the day. I don't know how he did a 50 tooth chain. I want to say it was at least 50. It looked very big, but yeah, super impressive. And then there was another guy who was like actually really fast. I don't know if the other guy was really fast or not. I don't know how he finished, but there was a guy who got 4th or 5th on a drop bar, Specialized S-Works Epic. I think the World Cup, or Epic 8. I think World Cup. Yeah, he did well, but there was some guy complaining to me about how drop bars are banned at this race. I had a few people come up to me and be like, dude, drop bars are banned. Like, do you see that bike? One, they're not banned. It's not in the rule book. 2, I like don't really care. Like, you could say Emil had togs that were like aero bars. I didn't care. Like, I don't care. Like,
because aero bars are banned.
Yeah. So
right?
I guess even one of the race directors, like not the race director, but like someone from Lifetime, like told Emil he shouldn't be running those. And he's like, I emailed you guys about this. Like, also, like, I didn't care. Like, it kind of helps me because he's gonna be in my group. So yeah, I don't know. I was just like, just let them run whatever they want. Especially the guy, like, someone was pointing out the guy with it was an older bike made into a drop bar gravel bike. I'm like, this could be the guy's only bike. Like, I'd rather have people riding bikes riding this event than like not coming up. So yeah. Okay, rant over about people complaining about rules. Maybe this is where we transition into coast to coast because people also complained about rules last year there. So
they did a lot.
Did they complain this year?
No, there's no complaints at all this year. Although I tried to follow all the rules this year, so there was nothing to complain about.
Give us a little course breakdown.
Course breakdown. It's 204 miles. We're on to coast now. I don't know if I said that. 204 miles from the east side of Michigan on Lake Huron to the west side of Michigan on Lake Michigan, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you ride all the way across the state. You're supposed to dip your back tire into Lake Huron at the start and then dip your front tire into Lake Michigan at the finish. So that way you like go all the way from one lake to the other. That's the concept of coast to coast. The first 100 miles are basically completely flat, like pan flat. straight, fast gravel roads, and not much. There's like almost no elevation, hardly any like turns even. So there's nothing to break up the race whatsoever. And then from mile 100 to 130, there's like a couple rolling hills, but like we're talking max 1 minute climbs. So still not really anything to break up the race. Mile 130 to 135, somewhere in there, you hit the first double track. And the double track sections at this race are like, it's like you're riding through a beach, like soft, loose, sandy beaches, sand, like super hard to move through. Your tires just sink into it. It's not like that the whole way, but there's a lot of spots where it's like real loose. All the turns get rutted out from ATVs and stuff, so the turns are always super loose. And there's a lot of like real steep, punchy climbs in the single track section. And then mile 170, so from like 130 to 170 is a lot of that double track on and off with some just regular gravel roads, but majority double track. And then at mile 170 you do like, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles of just single track, and then the last 20 miles are mostly just gravel roads but with some double track mixed in. So pretty fast race overall. We had a little bit of a tail crosswind the second half of the day, even though like you're in the woods most of the time and it doesn't really matter.
And you're going
But
east to west.
yeah, it was weird. There was a little bit of I guess it was southeast wind, probably. Wait, northeast wind?
Actually, we had that same wind in Minnesota because I
Yeah.
biked home after Lutsen.
And you're flying?
And I was pretty tired.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the race plays out. It's crazy because since the first 100 miles, there's literally nothing to break it up. We went into the first aid station at mile 50 with probably like 200 of the 400 starters. Like everyone just sits in because you can't attack because you'll just get brought back. And everybody knows that, so you just kind of like ride, and that's what we did, was just ride. So the first like pinch point of the race is aid 1. You basically just have to attack the aid station, get in and out as fast as you can, and go hard out of that aid station to try to like whittle the group down. But still, after the first aid, there was still probably like, I don't know, 40 or 50 guys in the front group. But shortly after that, there is one of the larger climbs of the race, even though it's still only a couple minutes long probably. But after somewhere in there, we got the group down to like 15 guys. I would assume all the guys that just aren't used to riding that far or that hard just started to pop off, and the little rollers and climbs and stuff just start to do a little damage. Then mile 100 is another aid station, and it's the same game. Get in and out as fast as you possibly can. I think I went into the aid station first. 2 guys didn't stop, so I like came out of it first out of the people that did stop, and like went pretty hard, went like really hard to catch those 2 guys that didn't stop and try to push the pace with them. But
did it seem like they had this planned? Like, did the 2 guys know each other, it seemed like? Or
no, they were not working together.
Oh.
Which is kind of funny. They were like riding 10 feet apart. I could see them up the road, like just riding along. So I caught them. And when I say I tried to like work with them to push the pace, I was just on the front, like going as hard as I could, trying to drop some people. I would assume it was Drew bridged everybody back up to me. and the group was, I think, at 12 people now. And then the 12 of us just rode together, basically back at that steady, just pedaling along pace until we hit the double track. As soon as we hit the double track, like within a second, it was just Drew and I. Like everybody instantly got dropped. I don't even know how. Like no one else was able to keep up. Like within a minute, we couldn't see anybody behind us anymore. Yeah, so that was basically the move to get to be in first and second place, was just hitting the single track and still moving. Then somewhere between mile like 130 and 140, there's a steep sandy climb, and Drew was somehow able to ride it, and I still don't know how he did it, because it was like, so like, I don't know how you could ride up it. He just has those cyclocross skills, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like, he talks about not having talent, but I think he's won cyclocross nationals in some category
he's
before.
pretty talented as a bike rider.
Yeah.
So he was able to climb up this hill. I made it like a quarter of the way up, got off, started running, trying not to lose any time. I found a little spot on the side where it was a little bit flatter, hopped back on my bike, was able to climb the rest of it. I probably lost 20 to 30 seconds to Drew. And then over the next like 5 or so minutes, I was able to bridge back up to him. And then I said, "Thanks for waiting for me, Drew." And he's like, "I didn't wait for you. I was trying to drop you." So that was funny. But then right after that, there was the second sandy steep climb on the course. There's only 2 of them, and the same exact thing happened. Drew was able to ride it. I wasn't. Probably put 30 seconds into me up that one too, because I had to run all the way up that one. I couldn't find a spot to get back on and try to get going again, and never saw him again. So that was, after that second climb, there was still probably 70 miles of the race left, and I rode 70 miles solo the rest of the day. A lot of that loose, sandy, rooty double track really starts to wear on you, physically and mentally, when you're just solo, like pushing through the forest, and your hands are just getting tired of holding onto your handlebars as they're like being bounced around on these roots. And yeah, Drew ended up putting like 6 minutes into me before the finish, and then I put 7 minutes into the guy in third, and I don't know how far back people were after that.
You had aero bars?
Had aero bars.
What kind?
Had the, I don't know the exact name, but the profile design aero bars.
That kind of form to the forearm?
Yeah, the ones that kind of form to your arm. I think if I were to get aero bars for a gravel bike or road bike again, I would get just the regular straight ones that are like just a round cylinder all the way out, so you can move them back farther. Because I have these ones maxed out, going like, have them slid back as far as I can before it like starts to make the arrow shape.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 10 millimeters too short. Like I wish it was just a tiny bit further back. But they worked pretty well. I think actually it forced me to reach out a little further, which makes you a little bit lower. It wasn't like uncomfortable or anything.
That's weird, because like I have, I think, the same ones, or maybe yours are even like where you grab is even more angled up, because there's the profile design ASC 42 and 53 or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if you have like the 50.
I'm gonna pull them up real quick.
Degree. But I mean, for like these are the aero bars I recommend to pretty much everyone, because I feel like they're a pretty good arrow shape, and they're still like, I don't want to say affordable because like affordability is dependent on like income, I guess.
How
But
deep your pockets are.
yeah, but compared to most carbon aero bars, these are like the cheapest ones that form to a forearm. And they're
Okay,
the
I
ones
see
that
there's the 52 and the 43 ASC extensions. I don't know. I feel like mine might be the 52s, but I don't know for sure.
Did you try like I didn't look at the pictures too much. I mean, Drew's looked. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah,
Drew has his like.
pointed
I mean,
downward.
where he grabs is kind of flat right in front of his hands, not like upwards, but like parallel with the ground. But like they're like pointed downwards. Like the pad at least. Is your pad angled flat or does it go up a little bit?
Mine's probably like 1 degree up.
Okay.
I did set it like that on purpose just to like give your arms kind of like something to push into a little bit. I mean, I probably spent out of the entire day, I probably spent somewhere between 6 and 7 hours in the aero bars, I would assume.
And you didn't crash?
No, dude.
Dude, aero bars are dangerous.
They are so dangerous. No, there was no sketchy moments at all. I was taking drinks while in the aero bars. Yeah, there was no problems. Now, there was a lot of other people with aero bars, but it was very surprising. I never saw anyone else use their aero bars. There was like a couple times in the race when there would be like 2 or 3 guys that would go off the front, because this kept happening over and over again where there was like really one guy that was doing it. He would always be like second or third wheel and would just like let gaps open over and over and over again. It was so annoying. But a couple times, a couple guys got up the road and not one person would like make the effort to chase. It would be like 7 wide across the front of the group, all pulling kind of hard. And half of those people would have aero bars on their bike and none of them were using them. I was like, why are you guys sitting on the front and just eating wind unnecessarily when you have aero bars on your bike?
I think a lot of people run their aero bars too low, like the pads too low, so then they can't put out any power or they're really uncomfortable. So then they just don't like use them, and it's like, well, then you're at a aero disadvantage because you have aero bars, and it's just like, like make sure your pads can like I'm coaching a guy right now and he has back issues, so he knows he needs risers, but like Profile Design makes risers. Like make sure when buying aero bars, make sure you can get risers, and it's better to have them a little higher up but ride in them twice as long than like lower. And because
I'm definitely putting risers on like tomorrow probably. I just didn't have enough time because I put them on like 3 days before the race. I didn't have enough time to like play around with the fit. And I was able to hold the position the whole time, but I wish they were a little bit higher. So I will definitely be putting on some risers. I agree. Most people have like, they always set up their aero bars as low as they possibly can go.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want.
Did you have, cause yours kind of has like, did you have them angled in a little bit too? Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably like an inch between the ends of the extensions. They're pretty close together. Because when I used to do triathlons, I would hold, I know people on the pod, if you're not watching, can't see, but I would do like this. This is how I would hold them. Like one hand over the other.
Okay, yeah.
So I set them up so I could do that.
Did you have blips on them?
No, and I wish I did. Because the course, there were so many like crosswind sections and just 1 degree up and 1 degree down rollers. And I kept having to like just take one arm off, hurry and shift and put my arm back over and over. and over again. There was quite a few times like going up hills when I needed to shift down, and I just like would grind it out for a minute so I wouldn't have to take my hand off the aero bars. I was like, whatever, I don't want to shift right now. So another thing I learned, and it's actually something I knew, I just totally forgot about it.
Blips.
Yeah, get blips.
Speaking of SRAM, I didn't talk about my equipment for the race, but my shoot, what's the SRAM suspension system called?
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I literally just did like a full reset, like deleted everything off the app, blah blah blah. But my flight attendant would keep disconnecting like the rear shock. Like, I would have 3 of the lights blinking yellow and then the 2 side ones blinking blue. But then if I latch the battery, essentially took the battery out and put it back in, it would like reconnect everything and like be able to lock out the rear shock again. So during the race, I had to do this like when I was pre-riding, it only happened every like 90 minutes, but during the race, it happened like every 30-ish minutes at the start. And I jokingly was going to ask Jordan, because he works at a bike shop, I was going to be like, hey, can you like help troubleshoot my flight attendant right now? But yeah, luckily, then I don't know, everything must have stayed connected, but then it was like, it never wanted to switch into like lock mode. It was either pedal or open. So then I had to start like manually locking it out. And I'm like, I just have a super heavy lockout system.
You deleted it off your app, right?
Yeah, deleted it off my app, re-added it back on.
Oh, okay. I wonder if when you deleted it off your app, it deleted like its power data it had for you. Because it's all of flight attendants like lock and unlock settings are all based on a power profile. So if it doesn't know your power profile, it just like won't do anything.
Yeah, what was weird was like the first couple of times, like when we were going up the climb, it locked out.
Yeah.
But then like, and it locked out the first 2 times before it disconnected, or like would get, yeah. But then that last time it just like really just wanted to stay open, and I'm just like, so
yeah.
And in the end, it didn't make a huge difference, but
nah. Wakely was on a fully rigid bike, right?
Yeah, I should say, like, for the listeners, Jordan, I think, was on not one of, like, I think he posted it was the worst he's like felt on a bike in a bike race in 5 years. So
that's what I would say if I raced poorly too.
I want to like, I hope he comes back next year. Like, I would love to see the Lutsen field pretty stacked, because I would like to see how I do like against, all the Midwest hitters like Brian Motter, Daxton, Jordan on like a really good day. I mean, Emil is just getting better and better year after year. I don't know who else is like Midwest legend right now. I mean, there's some like roadies in Minnesota that could be really good. So
there's a lot of people that could come out for it.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're not like at SBT.
Yeah. Capping off my coast to coast recap. Total time 9 hours 47 minutes. That's what my Training Peaks says. I don't know what the exact time was on the website, but I beat the previous course record by 27 minutes. So I was stoked on that. And then Drew beat me by another 6 minutes. So he now has the course record by like 32 minutes or whatever that is, which is crazy.
What was your power? I have it up on Strava.
For the entire day, in normalized power, 243. It was basically, honestly, the whole race was just like steady endurance except for like trying to get through some of the sand. You had to like put in some effort.
Dude, I think you're more slippery than Dizzle. Like, yes, he beat you by 6 minutes, but he did 243 watts. And you
Average
did
or normalized?
average, and you did 218. And his normalized was
Yeah.
265.
He
I'll
spent
take
quite a bit more time on the front too.
that's just
Probably like 50% more time on the front than I did.
here. I'll go to mile 100 for both of you. Is it miles 0 to 100? I know you're in a group at this point, but
Yeah, I basically didn't pedal the first 100 miles.
yeah, he did.
No,
He did 30 more watts than you the first
yeah.
100 miles.
Yeah, I probably only took like 3 or 4 pulls the first 100 miles.
Yeah, your
I don't know.
power looks way more like lots of coasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty chill. Like, really chill. I basically just like, if you took it hour by hour, I bet like I would average like 230 to 240 every hour, except for maybe the very first hour was probably like 180. Yeah.
Dude, there's a town called Cadillac that you kind of biked by. Do you think that's where the car
Where
is
they make
named after?
Cadillacs? Definitely not. There's nothing there. This course, by the way, is incredibly beautiful. You're just like in the middle of crazy forests the whole time. It's very cool. Would recommend.
Like, is it pine trees and like
Yeah,
birch?
lots of like pine and I don't know, just Michigan type forests.
Dude,
It's so sick.
I love pine trees. Like the first day we pre-rode, there was so much like I could just smell pine trees, and I'm just like, this is amazing. Because in southeast Minnesota, we don't really have pine trees, but now that I'm like central upper
I wish I had my
Minnesota,
power pulled up on the computer because then I could like look at my like highest 5 minute power for the race and stuff.
I got
And
you. Your
the
peak.
can you tell what like mile my like peak like 2 minute power was at?
It was at mile. Okay, so your peak 5 minute was at mile like. Shoot, it's kind of hard to tell here. Around mile 70,
90. Oh, 70.
75.
Yeah.
But okay, 2 minute is also it's at mile 59.
Do you want to know why? There's probably 3 scenarios where I had a pretty high like 2 to 5 minute power.
Yeah. Here, I'll just share my screen. Wait,
Dang,
yeah.
I've never dove into Strava like this.
Yeah, dude, get
I
the
only use Training Peaks.
Strava sauce add-on, like Google Chrome plugin.
Pretty good.
It's for analyzing the power,
Yeah.
whether it's yours, like your own, or someone else's. It's really good. Like if I want to see your peak, I can check out your peak power, peak pace. For video
just kinda
people, I'm
crazy.
sharing.
Yeah, if you guys are not watching on YouTube, I'm sorry, but this would be a great time to go hop on YouTube and because Chase is showing me something right now that I've never seen.
Peak, the normalized 5 minute, that was also at 75. It's like it looks like that's one of the last climbs for a while right here.
But it was over the top, right?
Yeah.
Guess what was happening right here where I had to go so hard?
You took a pee and then had to chase back on.
Yes. At 2 different times I stopped to take a pee and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it back on. Like I had to go so hard for longer than I wanted to. Yeah. I think I peed like 7 times in this race.
Dang.
Oh, also our group of like 12 guys stopped twice as collectively as a group to go to the bathroom.
It's just a whole bunch of gravel dads with no bad bladders.
I guess so, dude. If having a bad bladder makes you a gravel dad, I'm the ultimate gravel dad. Because I have a problem where I have to pee like every 20 minutes. I also had stomach issues like the second half of the race, which I haven't had like stomach issues in a race in like a year probably. So I'm not sure what was up with that. I don't think it really hindered my power too much. It just made it like uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah.
And like every time I went to take a gel the last like 4 hours, it was like everything you could do to not throw it back up for like 30 seconds. It was a struggle. You had to like put it in your mouth and try to swallow it before your gag reflex would kick in or something. It was rough. I don't know what was going on. I
Was
think
it
it
a
was just
carbs gel?
yeah.
Weird.
Which like I've never had a problem with them before at all.
Dude, imagine if you would have had like a goo and
That's I
tried.
was about to say it was like I was taking goo gels. Where like except with goo gels, it doesn't matter how fresh you are or anything, just every time you take a goo gel, you just regurgitate a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of fueling, so I took in 450-ish grams of carbs of Good Life, but then I also supplemented with some gels. And I was pre-riding with a friend, shout out Tim, and I was like, hey, do you have any gels? I'll trade you for some Good Life electrolytes. And he's like, yeah, I'll get them to you race morning. So I take my bicarb in the morning. So that's about 4 to 5 grams of sodium. And then he hands me carbs fuel gels with the sodium added. And I'm just
But
like,
yeah, I've never had one of those.
oh boy. Like, because there's already sodium in the Good Life drink mix, like a little bit. I'm just like, dude, I'm going to be drinking so much sodium or like
Wait,
consuming.
do you not also put the Good Life electrolytes in with your carb mix or drink mix?
Not if I do bicarb because it's just so much sodium.
Do you
But
think I
now,
had too much sodium?
but dude, this is, I like, I felt so good during the race. I'm like, maybe I need to take bicarb plus supplement with like 1,000 milligrams of sodium each hour during the race.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I have like a ton of sodium. And it usually works out, but this time it didn't. But I also am like, well, I've never like tested, but just by looking at my kit, you would think I'm a very heavy sweater. Here's here's like a picture of the back of my jersey after the race.
That's
Can you
not
see?
that's
That's
not that's
that light work.
bad, but like, dude, you should have seen Emil. Like, oh, he was so. I guess that doesn't show your bibs. I feel like the bibs usually get the most
Yeah,
salty.
that's what I was trying to see if there's.
But like, dude, Emil's bibs were so salty. I'm like, he just has to be.
Here's a picture of my bibs.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
They're pretty salty. Yeah. It was pretty hot out. I think it got up to like 86 or something.
Dang.
Yeah, it got pretty warm. Not till like the second half of the race though. The first half was like almost chilly.
Dang.
The first hour or two, my hands were cold. Like where it like kind of was hard to shift, but it started to warm up, and then second half of the race got real hot. Fun day. If you guys can make it to Michigan coast to coast, would highly recommend it. Fun race. Way more like, for some reason, it's so much more manageable than Unbound. Even though the course like might be harder because of all the double track and single track sections. But you can get through the first 100 miles like cakewalk.
I think it helps when you're in like the first 100 miles is pretty easy. Like you're in a group and not blasting at full race pace.
Yes.
Two, I bet the course is just way more beautiful. No offense to Onbound, but like
it is.
it's
Yeah.
pretty boring at Onbound. Where
It definitely, like, having the second half of the course be so dynamic, it just like engages your brain and gives you something to think about instead of going on like, okay, you turn right and go straight on this gravel road for 10 miles and then turn left and then you go on this gravel road for 10 miles. It's like you're having to pay attention and do double track for 2 hours straight. You know, it makes the time go by quicker. Dang, we spent an hour talking about our own races.
that's I don't know what they call it, where you're just like full of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, we're real conceited people.
My people have told me
what?
they like the recaps, so hopefully
Yeah.
people have
Well,
enjoyed
I hope
this.
you like that. Hour of recaps. Did I ever say I got second place? I finished second behind Drew Dillman. So Lunchbox had a heck of a weekend. Chase won Lutsen. Drew won Coast to Coast, and
Henry,
that's his name, was on the podium at SBT, which leads us into SBT results.
I want to say something. I was listening to the cooldown, and Keegan called him Henry Nielsen.
Oh,
I don't feel bad now for mispronounce. I still feel bad that I mispronounce people's names, but like I wouldn't screw up Nelson. So
yeah,
like,
there's no like I in there.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
I feel like for the most part, they talk way more intelligently than we do. So I don't know.
Hey, I mean, they also get paid to do their podcast, so they have to.
True. I want to be sponsored by Chamois Butter so bad.
Dude, I'm sponsored by Under Butter.
Oh, I'll take a Under Butter sponsorship too. I go through like a gallon of chamois cream a week.
I'll ask because the under is, underdogs and under butter. I think it would
the double under.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
So, did you listen to the cooldown?
I did, yeah.
Do we want to start with the men's or the women's side?
Let's start with SBT in general.
Okay.
Happens at Steamboat. Is it called Steamboat Springs?
Yes,
or just Steamboat?
Steamboat Springs.
Steamboat Springs in Colorado. This year it was 108 miles. I want to say 8,000 feet of climbing. If does that sound right? Somewhere right around there. Goes up to 8,000 feet. Starts, I think, at 6,000 feet elevation. So pretty climbing heavy race at elevation. And for the most part is what they call champagne gravel. There is rougher sections and stuff, but I think it was a trend of narrower gravel tires at this race, like 40s and 45s.
Yeah, I had to send out a pair of tires to Henry.
So, he needed some narrow.
Yeah, he needed some narrow
Terra competitions, or
I told him run a Terra speed in the front so he has a little bit of grip, and then a Terra competition in the rear.
45s?
45 in the front, and I think he ran a 40 in the rear.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's probably going to be my nationals setup.
Okay.
I think a 6.7 with a 45 in the front, and then
Wait, why are you running bigger in the front? Excuse me.
So then I can run the 6.7.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know what Drew's tire setup was
Dude,
for coast to coast?
It was he running the NV Hexes?
So he ran the NV Hex tires. He ran a 52 in the front and a 48 in the back. You want to know why?
Because it's Drew? I don't know.
Because he thought they were both the same size until the day before the race. Yeah, I was trying to convince him to switch to a pair of 50s that I brought for him, but he was like, nah. neither one of us wanted to change tires. I thought about switching to 55s, but we just didn't feel like swapping tires around,
Dude,
so we didn't.
Did Envy send him those, or?
Yeah, at some point they sent him some hex tires.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty good if you haven't ridden them yet. They're not bad.
Weird.
Definitely way grippier than what I ran, which probably helped a little bit in the sand. Just having a little bit of tread. I had basically a slick on.
Yeah. So Henry ran 45 in the front, 40 in the rear. Oh, did you see that the race almost got canceled? I shouldn't say almost got
Yeah.
canceled, but because of the fires going on out in the mountains.
So Grace was there this weekend and she was sending me updates and pictures and stuff, and it looked really, really, really smoky the day before the race. Like the night before, it looked real bad. But looks like it all blew out by the morning of the race, so the race was on.
That's good. Because, yeah, that would have sucked. I mean, they already have a hard time putting this race on, I feel like. And then, yeah. So, well, I have some
Results?
yeah.
Let me run through the men's results real quick.
I can give some insider info
Okay.
on the men's after you list the results.
Yeah, so in first place, Keegan Swinson, winning the race by 5 minutes over Alexi in second, Kobe Freebird in third, Henry Nelson in third, and Adam Roberge with a decent result in fifth.
Adam's his second half of the season is going pretty well so far, because he beat Mike Woods at a UCI race last weekend, or like the previous weekend.
Okay.
And then this race, it looked like he was in the early breakaway, and then listening to the cool down, sounded like he kind of just did Adam things in the group and he did some polling but not a lot. So and then so Alexi got second. Originally it was a group of Keegan, Kobe, Henry, and Adam, and near the end Alexi bridged up. I asked Henry, like, I forgot.
We should have had Henry on this podcast.
Yeah, I asked Henry like kind of how the race played out, and then he said they got a time gap of like 3 minutes at one point. The chase group was 3 minutes behind, and this was kind of near the I don't want to he just told me, I guess there was they got information that there was a 3 minute gap, and then like just shortly after that they started playing games, and then Alexi caught on like really quickly. So, and it sounded like Alexi was already bridging. Like, if they would have known Alexi was bridging, I think that Kobe, Henry, and Adam would have worked together. But like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, it's still fourth place is a super impressive result for Henry, who's had some bad luck last year and all of this year. So yeah, and he won
super good result.
Bighorn.
Bighorn. Was that the week before?
Yeah, right? And then he got like a last minute spot into SBT. He said,
sick,
which I've heard that's also really hard just to even get a spot from them. So, and then I mean, John Keller was sixth, but then he beat people like Peter Stetna, which I feel like this is probably a course that's really good for Stetna. Daxton, Griffin. I feel like a really good course for Griffin. Lance. So, and the Spratt brothers. Looks like one of them or both of them were in the early breakaway. So,
I did want to talk about this. John Borselman never learns. Dude, every single race ever, he goes as hard as he possibly can from the start, gets in the early break, and absolutely blows up 1 hour in. And does it every single race. And I don't understand, like, his thinking there.
I think it's because it used to work back in the day.
Back before there was other fast people.
Yeah, like back when,
Yeah.
I mean, Borstelman used to be top 5 American gravel cyclists in the US.
He did.
Even just like up till 2 years ago, if Borstelman was on the start line,
he was somebody to watch.
He was somebody to watch. And
yeah.
I don't. He's been doing some track. He's been dipping his toe into everything. So I don't know what he's been doing, but yeah, I mean he finished like 40 minutes behind Keegan. So I mean, honestly, yeah, I've always enjoyed a breakaway with Borstelman, but
because he like gets you ahead without you having to do too much extra work, because he pulls so hard that it just blows himself up.
Yeah, I
and it happens every single race.
I wish I would have. So him and I went 1-2 at Gravel Worlds in 2023. And I wish I would have attacked. There was this little hill before this like double track section. Then it was pavement. And this is when I had my head 180 wheel and aero bars. And the pavement's downhill. I wish I would have attacked him on the uphill because I think he was more fatigued than I thought he was. Like I was dead, but I think he was also dead. I tried attacking in the double track, but then he came up and over me and I like quit right away. I don't know why. I regret that. But shout out Henry. I mean everyone else on that podium.
Big shout out Henry.
Has had huge
I'm
results.
stoked Henry got a good result. He's been knocking on the door for so long. He needed a good result. Onto the women's race. We have Sofia Gomez Vichafanier in first, Sarah Lang in second, Lauren Stevens in third. In fourth, Paige Onweller, Cecily Decker in fifth, and then Danny Shrosby in sixth.
I don't know who this person is. Her Instagram popped up as I was looking through the results, but Kylie Hannell in 8th. She, I think, won U23 TT Nats, and then like to come out to SBT and kind of be up there. Like I think that's gonna be a name to watch in the future.
She was in 8th, which might not sound like,
but it was a sprint
the most
for
amazing.
5th.
But she was only 2 minutes off of Sophia.
Yeah, and
like that's right there.
And 4 seconds out. I mean, I think she just was the last person in the sprint for 5th. So like, and she's on the road. She's on the team with Lauren Stevens, it looks like. So, but yeah, Sophia won again. Sarah Lang, it sounded like she was up the road for a lot of the race, or part of the race at least. And then, yeah, Sophia caught her and thought, I mean, on the cooldown, it sounded like Sophia thought Sarah didn't know, so she was right behind her, which is actually, I mean, I believe in Sophia. Like, kind of weird that Sarah wouldn't like look back and check or even try to play any games. But yeah, super impressive result for Sarah. She's kind of one of those people who's always up there, but like hasn't, I don't know. Like if you asked most people, I don't think they would know who Sarah is, even though she's like super fast, super nice.
She's one of those people that is super fast, a lot of times on the podium too, but just doesn't have a social media presence, so people don't know who she is.
Yeah.
And this is just a sign to all people that if you want to be someone in the world of gravel, just start posting stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's more important than you think.
Dude, I did just make a post on my fueling for Lutsen, and it's like
Yeah.
my last 2 posts that I've posted have just done absolutely garbage on Instagram. Yeah, it's got 122 likes.
What?
And then my Lutsen post has 207.
Like your podium post?
I haven't done a podium or a winning one. The one that I collabed with Lutsen, that one has 1,800, but Lutsen posted that one, so I don't know if I get to take credit. But dude,
I would take credit.
This picture that Dan Hughes took,
Yeah.
Again, we talked about ourselves for an hour for this podcast. I really like that picture of myself.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. How many likes did that one get?
1,800. The first pic is me holding up a bike.
Yeah. My little podium picture did well on Instagram. Thanks to everybody that liked it. All 700 and something of you.
Dang.
Speaking of Instagram, did you see Cecile Lejeune's post?
Yes, dude.
I feel like we need to just hit on it real quick, because we have been talking about it more than once this year. Cecile made an Instagram post just saying that she will not be lining up for SPT because she is just so fatigued she can't race. And we've touched on how much she's been racing this year, and that I think we said you can't keep going at that pace, and then we're like, oh well, maybe she can. She can't. So that's a little unfortunate, but hopefully she rests up. And
But wait, you didn't talk about it wasn't just I'm fatigued, I'm not gonna be doing SPT post. She did it in a very Cecile way.
She did.
And I don't know if it was AI or if she's does graphic stuff, but she created, for people who haven't gone and checked it out, she made this little purple blob monster and called it the fatigue monster.
Yeah.
And she was like, this little guy has been with me since I can't remember, after Unbound or something. But then it was he's just been growing and growing and growing, and then got her really good at BWR Montana, the second one between Utah and Montana. And dude, I thought it was such a good post, and she's so good at Instagram. I mean, behind the scenes, neither of us really know her, but we were she could be a cool person to have on the pod, but again, we don't really know her, so it would just be
she definitely drew that little blob and just drew it over the pictures. I don't think that was AI. It's so funny.
But she changed its angle. One time it's on her back or leg or something, and it's you can see it's kind of wrapped. She tried wrapping it around her. I think she drew
it, dude.
I guess if you're fatigued,
if you're just fatigued chilling on the couch, yeah, just whip out your iPad with a little little pencil thing, get to drawing some little blobs, making the best Instagram post there is. Yeah. Also shout out to Melissa Rollins. She finished 20th at SPT, but this was coming off of a bike crash where she broke her elbow. I think it was last year. And then she fell on that arm again somehow and tore her tricep or bicep or something like that. And this was her first race back in I don't know, 6 or 8 months since those two incidences. And I guess within the first couple miles, she got taken out and landed right on her bad arm again. And it took her a little while to get up and calm down because she was scared she'd broke it again or something, and then ended up finishing the race.
Yeah,
And
I'm glad nothing's. It sounded like she made a post. Sounds like nothing's broken, but like third time of like
yeah, it
in an
sounded
accident.
like when she crashed, this is all just based on her Instagram post, that she was just like terrified that she would crash and land on her arm, and then it happened. And then she realized it didn't get hurt more, and she was like, it's okay. I could do this.
For her to finish is pretty badass. Like I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
if I like just broke myself twice in the same spot and then I crash on it, I'd be like, this is a sign I'm just supposed to be not ride my bike today.
yeah.
And then
And she
like
was like less than 30 minutes off of Sophia. So that's pretty good to like ride solo all day and not lose too much time.
yeah, I mean she wasn't last.
No, definitely wasn't last.
And like it's definitely a course that like drafting plays a role off of.
But yeah, it's really fast.
Yeah.
Well, not really fast, but it's a fast course. Yeah, that is SBT recap. What do we have coming up?
Oregon Trail Gravel, or yeah, I think that's the Oregon Trail Gravel, part of the Gravel Earth series. I guess we don't need to really cover that if I mean
Yeah,
we're so deep into the podcast. We'll just do a recap. I do have the start list up. Looks like Tobin Ortenblatt is making a start there. I think Cam Jones, Matt Wilson, those two will probably be duking it out. On the men's side, there is a couple guys from POS, I believe, over here. Yeah, Tobias Kungstead is over here, and then Carol Magny is over here, which hopefully she's all good and like in a good spot and starts kicking butt again. OG is over here from Specialized. So it's a pretty stacked field. I think it's a 5-day stage race, if I'm right. Do you think what's the longest a stage race will ever become
in gravel.
gravel? Do you think we'll have like I mean, you could
I
do
hope.
like 10 because you could do a Friday,
I'd like to
Saturday,
see like 7 to 10.
7 to 10.
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, how long is gravel burn? Was that 8 stages?
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I
The
feel
Oregon
like
Trail one's kind of crazy because they all like camp in tents, and the camping spot doesn't, it changes every day, right? Like you're doing a trail. So you start at one spot and end at another and then set up camp there. Um, that sounds really not fun to me. I don't
just
know.
yeah,
It would just be so exhausting.
just the like power, like the I mean, they're not volunteers. The amount of people that it would take to
Oh
like
yeah.
same with gravel burn, like these races that like well, gravel burn, I guess it sounds like there was 2 different like teams and they would skip ahead of each other. Like day 1 was team 1, day
Yeah.
2, yeah.
How do they do that?
You charge a lot. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the
actually
only
here.
way to do it.
Okay, the Pro Elite $1,800. So that
For
it's
registration.
5 days.
Yeah.
That's $360 a day.
Yeah.
No
That's
prize
crazy.
money. I don't think any prize money or anything. Then there's it's $1,800 for someone who wants to do it. I mean, yeah, that's a lot.
That's a bit crazy.
And I mean I could dip into the whole weeds on yeah. Okay, so you have a catered breakfast, lunch, dinner, stocked aid stations. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I've thought of doing. I want to do a gravel stage race, but it would only be 3 days, and the start and the end would be in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
So,
I think if there's stage racing, it should happen in the same start and finish spot.
so here, actually, I have nights. There's 4 nights of camping. Night 1 is in one spot. Night 2 and 3 are in another. Night 4 is in a different spot. And each rider gets a 50-liter gear tote. You have to bring your own tent, sleeping pad, and bag, and then you have access to all camp amenities. So these people, it sounds like, are setting up and tearing down their own thing. You can get a VIP tent service, which arrive to your tent already set up and waiting. Spacious 10 by 7 foot tent, set up and tear down included each day. Space for 2 riders or single, and bring your own sleeping pad and sleeping bag. It doesn't say a price for the VIP service. Crazy.
Dang. Crazy.
Speaking
possibly
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I want to hear your transition.
I was gonna say how I wanted to hold a gravel stage race. I put on a few bikers. Yeah, I'm putting on another bike race in October, but this one's just a single day one. And dude, it got 1,000 people already. Filthy 50. So
That's a lot.
if you're listening, I mean 90% of the people registered are from Minnesota. But if you want a fun gravel race, it's only 50 miles, $65. Beautiful little river town called Lanesboro, Minnesota. Come check it out. I'm not the original race director. Trenton Rager was the creator of this. And I think it just shows like a bike race doesn't have to be over 100 miles for people to want to do.
Another race coming up this weekend that you may or may not have heard of, the Tour de France is happening. Starts on Saturday with the team time trial. And me and Chase will not be giving daily updates on the tour. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be doing solo updates.
Are you going to? That'd be hilarious.
If people are listening at 90 minutes in and they want solo updates, I could even try to get a guest on every single day. I would do that. Like,
if we get over 1,000 YouTube subscribers before the start of the tour, then we will do daily tour updates.
Or if we
Shake on it.
Dude, I'll do it if there's 10 comments asking for daily tour updates.
No. On YouTube? 10 comments on YouTube?
10 YouTube comments. 10 different people. If they comment, I will do daily tour updates and try to get a guest on every single day.
Dude, that's like a low bar. 10 comments.
Yeah, because I kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
This should go with a little asterisk. I'll be in Iceland about 5 of those days. So I don't know
we will be in Iceland.
We will? You're coming too?
Yeah. To the Rift? Did you not know that?
Do you know how organized I am? I'm not organized at all.
Me neither. I'm not organized whatsoever.
Am I supposed to have room in my vehicle for you?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on either. So I need to figure out my stuff, I guess.
I just sent an email yesterday and I asked them if I could do the XL. The Abyss is what it's called.
The what?
The Ultra one they have.
Is it on the same day?
It starts Friday evening.
So you have to race through the night even though it's day?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I was like, dude, I've always wanted to do an ultra, and I'm like,
How many miles is it?
200. But the terrain's
Yeah,
gnarly.
it's slow. Real slow going.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I think okay, I'm just like sandbagging now, but I'm like, it's so much cooler to post a picture of you winning and being able to like tell a cool story from like an ultra than like me going and getting like 20 to 30th. I also guess I don't know. I did just do 400 watts for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
You did that.
no,
That's pretty
uh,
crazy.
it,
I'm scared I'm not going to do well at all
dude,
at the Rift
there's
because it's so steep, punchy climbs, and that's like the one thing I'm the worst at.
yeah, I also kind of do want to do the regular one just to like see where my legs are at because I'm now self-coached and I feel like
Yeah.
it's only been a month, but
Have you been doing VO2 efforts already?
I've been doing VO2 efforts and I like
Yeah.
got
And
that.
you've already hit 400 watts for
And
20
I've
minutes.
already
Wow. Who would have thought? That's so funny. Tech talk. Let's dive in. We got a little bit to talk about here. We'll get the easiest one out of the way. The new Look 795 Blade Aero road bike. That's all I know about it, unless you know anything else, Chase.
No, I forgot how I even saw this.
I don't know how you saw it because I didn't know
It's
about it.
because someone under the SL9 specialized SL9 tarmac SL9 got released today, and
But they commented and said this bike looks cooler or
they're
is
like,
more innovative.
well, my Look 795 has a 15-watt savings upgrade compared to the specialized SL blah blah blah. So they were just talking about how like at least my new bike is like getting faster where the SL9 is like barely jumped in like aero
Yeah.
savings.
I think it could also. I mean, 15 watts is believable, but
I don't
I was
believe in
gonna
the
say at
15
least
watts.
I kind of like that Specialized only did a 9 watt or a 4 watt increase on one generation to the next because it's like a believable claim. Like normally Specialized is known for just like making these whack claims that like are hard to believe. But the 4 watt arrow increase over the previous generation is believable. But it also makes me wonder how they do their arrow testing because they're known to like the previous generation will test it with aluminum wheels and the new one has these brand new deep dish Roval Rapides on it and it's like it's 20 watts more arrow and it's like oh no it's just you guys tested it with different wheels. So it makes me wonder what they tested this bike with.
Maybe they hit like the max of like, you could get like narrower wheels, like tires, just that everything you can like add on to skew a air like a wind tunnel test. Maybe they like ran out of that, so now the jumps are finally like super small. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but also like if you look on the tour magazine like wind tunnel testing, like a 4-watt jump is a lot
it's a lot.
to move
Yeah.
into those charts.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You posted the
Another
steer tube.
Oh yeah, I posted the steer tube. The steer tube of the new Tarmac SL9 is literally crooked. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But it is the weirdest looking thing on a bike I've ever seen. Even though when the bike's built up, you can't even tell because it's inside of the frame, but it looks whack.
You know who's gonna have a time with that? Just like I
Who?
don't think Hambini.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for his reaming of the Specialized steer tube. Specialized has been known to recall steer tubes before, so hopefully this one works out. Couple other interesting things with the SL9. Speaking of the aero testing, they designed the aero testing around only having one bottle on the down tube and no bottle on the seat tube, because they said at the end of races, pro riders will drop their seat tube bottle to help them win a race. So we're going to design the aerodynamics of this bike with only one bottle. What do you think about that?
That's really weird.
It's really stupid if you ask me.
Yeah, because honestly, I'd rather save like I'd rather have them design it to save the wattage over 95%
I was just about to say, like,
of
over an
it.
entire tour stage or the last 30 seconds when they drop the
Because yeah,
bottle.
the last 30 seconds, like yeah, at sprinting speed, you know, 4 watts goes to 10 watts of savings, but also 10 watts of savings at
10 watts of saving over 10 seconds is 0.
yeah, it's just like yeah, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. I thought that was crazy, and that's the Specialized marketing that I hate so much.
I wonder what it's like to work
It,
at Specialized and like
the
beyond their marketing team.
last thing on that bike that I wanted to talk about, which is a positive, but it could also skew the aerodynamic testing, is they now have a 36 mil bar or cockpit. So finally, like if I wanted to race that bike, I could run the bar that's supposed to go with that bike, because before they only offered a 38 mil wide or centimeter wide bar. But then again, if they use that 36 in the wind tunnel testing, that could be the 4 watts over the previous bike.
So I'm just looking at the paint jobs. Dude, they do a good
Dude,
job with the
there's some cool paint jobs on that bike.
yeah, I actually the stock wheels don't even look that deep that come on it.
They're the most up to date Roval Rapide. They're
Yeah.
like 60 in the front, 50 in the back, something along those lines.
Why does it not look huh? Never mind. Yeah. I don't know why it just doesn't look deep to me, but yeah, you're right. Oh, they make a 44. Wow.
The bike size?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make a tiny one. I don't even know how they do that, but that's cool. New Giant Revolt also came out that I've kind of like said little bits here and there about on the past like 3 pods. So it is officially released, but not available in the United States yet.
A 19-watt advantage over the previous Revolt.
Oh, this was a crazy marketing thing they did with that 19 watts. Apparently 4 watts come from the new tire in terms of rolling resistance, and they just added that into the bike.
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? They're like, oh, this bike's 19 watts faster, but really it's only like 16 or whatever, because 4 comes from the tire.
That's Is it
I thought
even
that
a
was
giant
so
tire?
funny.
Oh, it is a
Yeah,
KDX
it is.
tire.
It looks like a mini Thunderbird. It's kind of cool. I actually really like this bike. This bike is cool.
Did you know who
What are your
doesn't
thoughts?
do gimmicky aero marketing?
Who?
Lauf.
That is true. And guess what? Their bikes win races.
And
They
their
won 2 races this weekend and got 4th at SPT.
listener
Yeah.
questions.
What?
Listener questions.
What about the Zip 404?
Dude,
that
we
you
don't know
wanted to talk
anything.
about?
I just saw that.
So the Zip 404s are the new budget-friendly Zip wheel. It's roughly $1,300, maybe $1,400, 50 mil deep, 23 mil internal, and weighs almost 1,600 grams. But it is a cheap, or not cheap, but more budget-friendly aero wheel, kind of competing with the Envy AR40s. A bit heavier, but a bit deeper, and also narrower.
Yeah, I forget. I have like an arrow chart, and it's just actually here. This is on a public website, not behind a paywall. So this is detail heavy testing for people not watching the video. It says performance that runs deep. On the y-axis, we have drag, high to low, and then price on the x-axis. $1,000 to $5,000. On the very bottom, in the bottom left, which is the cheapest and the most aero, you have the 404S. And then also on this chart, they have the Reval Rapide CLX, Reval Sprint CLX, NVSCS 4.5 Pro, Hunt 50 303S. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, it doesn't say a speed or anything, so it'd be interesting to know, like,
Who made this? Oh, Bike Radar.
bike radar. So, yeah, that would be interesting to know.
It's always funny looking at these aero charts depending on who made it. And some of them use the same wheels as other people that do their own independent aero testing, and the testing never comes out the same. It like all just depends on what tire they use and what yaw angles and all of that. But this wheel is supposedly really aero, right?
Yeah, that's according to this chart.
According to this chart, yeah.
It's very, very aero, and very cheap. Take that how you want, I guess. So,
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. I wonder if it's I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say, is it the Reval Rapide CLX 1, 2, or 3? But I think the Rapide's the third one, right?
Yeah, I noticed right away that a lot of these wheels are like older generation wheels.
Yeah. Oh, Princeton Carbon Works. That one's on here.
Yeah. Like the Hunt 50 is old. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't say what the Rapides are. Yeah.
Good job, Zip. I guess.
so.
For making a chart with very
these
little
zips,
info.
I think the sole purpose of these zips existing is for OEM sales. So these will be stocked on whatever factor, whatever brand sells their bikes with zip wheels on them, because these wheels launched today on June, what is the date? 29th, 30th. And the bicycle station sells zip. So I know when I can buy them. And well, I know when I can get them. We can buy them now, and they will not be shipped until November.
Nice.
Yeah, so that shows you that they're all of the wheels that they are making are going straight to OEM sources, I guess. Yeah. So if you wanted some of these, you have to buy a bike that comes with them that isn't out yet. I would assume there's new bikes coming out on the day of the tour that might have these on them. Now, listener questions. What do we got? Let's see. Alrighty, folks. Should we all buy Tavellos to force the legacy brands to stop taking the piss? No, I will not be buying a Tavello. Chase, will you be buying a Tavello?
No.
Yeah. I don't. I keep seeing all these Chinese brands on the internet and on YouTube videos, and then you go ride with people anywhere or go to a race that has 1,000 people at it and no one's on these. So I don't think people are actually buying them. They're just being marketed heavily, and then people don't buy them because they use their judgment and know it's a bad idea.
You also would, yeah.
I don't know either. I don't think people are actually buying these. They're out there. Next question. Best hardtail XC bike or budget-friendly full suspension bike? Honestly, I don't know very many people that are making good hardtails these days. I know Orbea. Orbea is probably the best option.
Dude,
I don't.
I don't know anything about mountain bikes.
Yeah. Best budget is probably the Lauf.
Yeah, so the Weekend Warrior.
Yeah.
I have this up right now. So a down country, you could get. I don't know what budget friendly means.
I
I
know.
made the
Does
comment
that
one
mean like
time that
$3,000 or $6,000?
yeah, oh, what the heck? Why is Lauf sold out? Dude, Lauf is sold out in all of their medium-sized
Mountain bikes?
mountain bikes.
Do they have larges?
They have larges.
Good, that's what I ride.
So you can get a Weekend Warrior transmission, the trail setup, which is 120, 130 travel. No, whatever you want to call it. No power meter or anything for $4,090. I'm gonna say
pretty good.
this isn't very budget friendly. Like a race flight attendant. So this is with XO, and you have a power meter. You have carbon wheels. I mean, I would say the bike is pretty ready to go. Yeah, it's $6,000, and it's sold out in a medium, but you can get it large.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah. Again, budget. I made the comment one time that Lauf is the best affordable race bike, and someone was like, $4,000 isn't affordable to me, and I'm like, you're right. Actually, it all depends on where you're coming from. So I would say,
the price of bikes nowadays is unreasonable
there
across the board, but yeah.
One question I have, is there
specialized, just to give perspective of the Lauf with XO, specialized new Epic with XO is $12,000.
Whoa.
So I'd say the Lauf is pretty budget friendly. The GX new Epic is $7,500, which I think, is that more than the top end Lauf with XX1?
The top end Lauf with XXSL I don't know if that's better than XX1 or again.
Same.
Same.
Sorry, I said the wrong thing.
No, that's okay.
XXSL is actually the right term.
Okay. Yeah, the Lauf is $7,290.
Yeah,
and that's with
so that's cheaper than the GX Specialized with the low end RockShox Sid on it. Yeah, that's crazy. I think Specialized is going to come out with even cheaper models soon, like with mechanical Shimano and stuff, but I don't know when that'll be. And then there's other mountain bike brands that are also in the Specialized bracket price wise, like Orbea. The Allied BC40 is good, but not really budget. Who else makes a good mountain bike?
I mean, dang, so Lauf is like really cheap compared to. I mean, Lauf is like in the same price range as a Tavelo for like road stuff.
Yeah.
But what's weird is there's like, I was about to say there's engineering behind the Lauf, but not the Tavelo. But that's not. There is engineering behind the Tavelo, but it's more of a copy type of engineering where I feel like the Lauf, like Benji.
There's actual like layup engineering, which is very important.
Yeah.
I should the Salsa Spearfish, I think is it's a really good full suspension bike. I'm not sure pricing on them, but I'm pretty sure Salsa is quite a bit cheaper than like a Specialized or something.
I mean, if I was looking for like a budget friendly good bike, look up and you like your budget's $3,000. Just go into Facebook Marketplace and find something that way. Because you're gonna get a pretty good deal. You could probably find like, I mean, people aren't selling Elias yet, but you could probably find like a Super Cal or something like that. Unless it's sold by, I feel like Nika kids just sell the bike the exact same price they bought it for. But it's just like destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you pull up to look at a Facebook Marketplace bike and it's a 16-year-old, just like turn around and walk away. That thing is going to be so clapped.
Even if it's a good deal, if it's a high schooler selling the bike, I know this because I've trained with 2 high schoolers and I know those bikes are just like, yeah.
Well, next question. Did Dizzle thank you for letting him win? I did not let him win. I tried to catch him and I couldn't. What do you look for in a race that would influence your training? So like what if we have an upcoming race, what specific do we train specifically for it? Sometimes, but normally I just train to train. But like for Sea Otter, I did a lot of like 4-minute VO2 focus stuff because there's a lot of like short punchy climbs. For Unbound, train a lot of 30, 40, 50-minute tempo efforts because you're just out there pedaling at tempo all day. Yeah, kind of just like if the course is flat and long, you don't have to train VO2 as much. If the course is really punchy, train a lot of VO2.
Yeah, I mean, like, GRVL Nationals is 9 5-minute climbs. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go do a whole bunch of 5-minute efforts because I should probably be training that 5-minute repeatability. And dude, actually a lot of these summer races are pretty flat and long. And even like Lutsen, pretty flat and long besides the beginning. So like now that I'm back to coaching myself, I don't really have too much science to back this up, but I'm loving the like LT1 workouts where it's just like 6 by 20 minutes, and it's like essentially just the highest zone 2 you would ride at, and just like kind of rate on, like, your legs don't burn. They're
Are
like,
you testing? You're not like lactate testing
no,
to
I
find
feel like you
LT1,
just,
right?
once
Yeah.
you ride long enough, you can just be like, be within 5 watts of like what I don't, because I can tell, like, okay, if I push 10 watts higher, then like it's usually between 270 280. If I push 10 watts higher than that, like, my legs are going to start burning a lot quicker than 270 to 280. So yeah, I mean, I'm doing all of my training kind of around ground.
I don't know if you know this, and you can answer it super quickly. Do you think your lactate like threshold changes day by day? You know how like heart rate changes, fluctuates day by day. Does lactate do the same
I
at like a specific power?
I
I would think
believe
so.
so, cuz like
Yeah.
altitude, or yeah, like
Yeah.
different things can,
I think it would.
I would assume so.
Um, is Chase racing Freedom gravel
Freedom.
this year? Freedhem? Freedhem?
I don't know yet. So this upcoming weekend is 4th of July. The next weekend is July 11th. There's a race in North Dakota that's got a little bit of prize money called Lions Heart Gravel Classic. May go do that one. Or may do Freedom just because it's closer. I've also thought about doing no bike races because, like Cecile, I kind of feel like I have a little fatigue monster on me. It is a week and a half away, but like, I really want to do well at the Rift, no matter which race I do. And then Gravel Worlds and Gravel Nationals are both super, super important races for me. So, even going out to North Dakota, winning $1,500, is that worth the like fatigue that comes with that? I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Next question. How did Chase manage to win Lutsen without aero bars? I think you answered that already. How important is sleep/recovery? Is it okay to sacrifice sleep in the morning to train? I don't know if everybody thinks this way, but I pretty much prioritize like getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, no matter what. Like, I was thinking about riding in the morning, but it's almost 11 now, so I'm just gonna sleep instead.
Uh, as someone with a kid,
Yeah, I
this
knew
is
you were
where like
gonna like change this up.
this is where like once you become a dad, like, I used to just think it was baloney, but like, I don't know what magical power you get. It's just like, oh, 6 hours of sleep, like, that's pretty good, especially if it's 6 straight hours of sleep. So for me, do I prioritize sleep? No, usually, like, never ever really. Yeah, like last week, I went to bed at like 11, and I like made sure I scheduled a ride early in the morning with people, so I'd like get out of bed and be motivated to go. Like, essentially, I scheduled this ride with them so I would get myself out of bed, because I knew I would only have like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Now, is this the best for my health? Probably not. I've been living off of 5 to 6 hours of sleep on average for about 15 months, and I have heart issues, and yeah, I would say I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
make it
either.
work. Like if you
Yeah,
have to do it, if you have the opportunity to sleep and still get the ride in,
do that.
do that.
Yeah,
If you have a kid and the only time you can ride is early in the morning, th- then just like you have to do that. Like it's either yeah, you kind of don't have an option to just like
yeah. When I used to work at a chiropractor, and it was 12-hour shifts. I
whoa.
would wake up at like 4:30 to 5, go to the gym, do a workout or a run at the gym, shower there, go to work 12 hours, get home, and then do my ride, and then get like 6 hours of sleep. And I did that for a year, and it was the worst year of my entire life.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was rough. I also think the reason I prioritize sleep so much is because there's so many weekends where I'm like pretty sleep deprived. Like last week, Monday night, we got home at 4 a.m. in the morning from Grodio, and then I had to work all week. And then Thursday night after work, I drove to Michigan for Coast to Coast and got to Michigan at like 1 a.m. And then the next night, Friday night, the night before the race, we went to bed at like 10:30 or something, and then had to wake up at 3:30 for the race. And it's been like this weekend's 4th of July. I'm driving to Grace's Lake House after work Thursday night, so I won't get there until 3 a.m. And it's like a never ending, like every weekend, there's one or two nights where I'm getting like 4 hours of sleep. So during the week, I try to like recover, basically. I don't know if that works, but it's how I work.
Yeah. No, I feel like your plan is good. I sometimes, if I don't travel with my family, then I get to get a little bit of extra sleep. But
Yeah.
my life is kind of like went to bed at dude, he went to bed super early, like 7:30. He's probably gonna wake up early, and guess what? I don't really have an option but to wake up early with him. So yeah.
Short answer, sleep when you can.
Yeah, sleep when you can.
My dad asked, when do I get a Gravel Dad shirt? We'll get you one.
Yeah, uh yeah, I mean I can send him one whenever. I have this like super long to-do list, and one of them is open a Shopify website with
Oh, yeah.
to sell Gravel
Yeah.
Dad merch. Yeah, and leftover stuff from my bike events.
The local road pirate asked, is there going to be a new Blackwall Thunderbird released soon? All are back ordered. The bicycle station has Blackwall Thunderbirds in stock, so buy them there. There's not a new one coming, and the ones you have seen that look new at races are just a new logo on the side of them. So I think there is new logos coming, but not new Thunderbirds. No, we're skipping that question. Last question. Where do you get haircut? I don't get haircut. I just let her fly.
Let her grow.
The last haircut I got was when I got my perm, and it was like 4 months ago, and it cost $115 or something like that. So I'm putting off doing that again as long as possible.
Dude, you have a girlfriend. You don't have to. I was in the alleyway at Onbound shaving my head. I haven't like maybe it's not a good thing, but like I really haven't cared about my hair for quite a while. But
Yeah,
I mean, I do want Abigail to like make the sides look better because I call it just the homeschooled haircut because it's all the same length all the way around, and that's
yeah.
why I try to wear my hat as much as possible. So I guess I do care how I look, but yeah, I haven't like paid for a haircut in 3 years, and that was like Great Clips and Sartell. And before that, it was probably 3 or 4 years. I bought a pair of clippers, like a razor shaver thing.
Yeah.
With all the add-ons for $20, $25 in 2020. And I've got my money's worth out of that bad boy.
For sure.
Yeah.
People always comment on my hair on this podcast and on the Bicycle Station YouTube videos, and I think it's funny because everyone cares more about my hair than I do.
Wait, dude, I love your hair. Like, I think it's...
Yeah, I just let it rip. Whatever it wants to do the day on any day, that's just it. That's what it is. Today it's kind of got like, I don't know, like grandma bowl cut look, and that's what it is today.
Is it for Oliver Tree?
Who's that?
You don't know who Oliver Tree is?
That name sounds familiar. It's got to be like a kid's book or something.
No, it's a musical artist who just died.
Oh, yeah. It is kind of giving Oliver Tree now that you say that.
He was like one of my like inspirations in just being a goofball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually pretty sad when he died.
It does kind of look like that.
Actually,
now that you say it.
Yeah, on the train I would always listen to Oliver Tree. Literally, like the week he died, I was listening to his new stuff.
Dang. R.I.P. Well, we've gotten like 6 new questions in since we started answering questions, but I think it's time to shut it down. They all missed out.
This is our too late. Longest pod ever, so
every single week it just gets longer.
No, we were going shorter for a while, and we've redeemed ourselves.
Next week we'll go shorter.
That's okay. We since it's longer, it's also out earlier, so people can like
take the full week to listen to it. Yeah, this one's a 2-ride type of podcast.
Sweet.
Or just one decent ride. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.